Bro.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our channel, and today we are going to explain composition and its structure of the atmosphere. So I am going to present the PPT. So I'm just going to do this. Okay. So now I will choose the PPT. So composition and structure of the atmosphere by Srijan Kanduri and Sritan Kanduri. Subscribe, like, ask your doubts in the comment section, and subscribe to Educationally Pure. So, Sritan, can you please start by reading the lines?
Yes. What is atmosphere? Atmosphere is the blanket of air that surrounds the earth with different gases.
So,
Can you explain, Srijan?
is the blanket of air that surrounds the earth with different gases. Now, you might be asking, what are these different gases? Don't worry, we have got you. Composition of atmosphere is also a topic. So, Sritan, can you please tell the viewers that what is composition of atmosphere?
The atmosphere is composed of different gases. These gases are mainly colorless, odorless, and together from the atmosphere.
Yes. So, in this line, Sritan said that the atmosphere is composed of different gases. So, the qualities of the gases are, they are colorless, they are odorless, and they mix with each other to form atmosphere. So, let's see what are these gases. Composition of gases in the atmosphere.
28% nitrogen, 21% oxygen. The rest of the gases, argon and carbon dioxide, hydrogen, helium, neon, ozone are some of the gases which are found in less quantity in the atmosphere.
So, in this information, we can know that 78% of the atmosphere's gases are nitrogen, 21% are oxygen, and the rest of the gases are argon, carbon dioxide. So, if we put this into a mathematical form, so 71 plus 21 forms up to 99%. And so we can get an estimation of these gases will be 1%. So argon, carbon dioxide, hydrogen, helium, neon, ozone form a mixture of gases, and that gas is the 1% gases remaining. So for your better understanding, we also have an image. So now, so let's see about the explanation of atmospheric gases.
Nitrogen. The nitrogen is the most abundant gas in the atmosphere. It is required by the plants and animals for their survival. Plants do not absorb nitrogen directly from the atmosphere. The bacteria in the soil and the roots of the plants absorb atmospheric gas and change its form per plant. The animals get nitrogen by eating the plant which have the bacteria. And by this bacteria, nitrogen also dilutes oxygen and slows the process of oxidation.
Okay, so in this paragraph, Sritan told that the nitrogen is the most abundant gas in the atmosphere. So nitrogen, who requires nitrogen? The plants and the animals require nitrogen for their survival. So, but there is a twist. Plants cannot absorb nitrogen directly from the atmosphere. So this process, there is a bacteria in the soil and the roots of the plant. These bacteria turn the atmospheric nitrogen into the form that a plant can breathe. So this process is also known as nitrogen fixation, and the gases which can do which have the ability to convert are rhizobium. So nitrogen also dilutes and slows the process of oxidation. So in this line we get that nitrogen dilutes oxygen and slows the process of oxidation. So now we will go to the next slide. So what is oxygen?
Oxygen. Oxygen is the second most abundant gas and the most important gas in the atmosphere. The entire animal kingdom breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide. The plants and the other hand breathe carbon dioxide and exhales oxygen. The process ensures that the natural balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide is maintained. Oxygen also helps in combustion.
Okay.
combustion.
So now in this paragraph, Sritam told that oxygen is the second most abundant gas and the most important gas in the atmosphere. So by hearing this line, you would understand that every single life which is on earth needs oxygen for its survival. Such as humans, if we do not breathe oxygen, we will pass away. So the entire animal kingdom breathes in oxygen and breathes out carbon dioxide. Now you will be like, if we breathe in all the oxygen, then there will be carbon dioxide and every human will die. But fortunately, we have a solution for that as well. The plants, on the other hand, breathe carbon dioxide and exhale oxygen. So humans breathe in oxygen, breathe out carbon dioxide. Wait, let me explain this really good. So now I have Google Meet's whiteboard right now. So let me just go to the whiteboard. Okay. So now we breathe in O2 and give out CO2. But the plants breathe in CO2, breathe out O2. So this means that humans breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide, whereas the plants breathe in carbon dioxide and give out oxygen. So now let me just do this and yeah, minimize this. Okay. So this process ensures the natural balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide. So before that, we have another line. Oxygen also helps in combustion. So what is combustion? Combustion is the burningness of anything. So now let me explain how does oxygen help in combustion. So if you will take a candle and first light it, then you take a huge jar and cover the whole candle. Now after 2 minutes, take out the jar and see the candle will not be lit. It will burn off. Why? Because oxygen helps in combustion. So the candle needs oxygen for burning and it releases out carbon dioxide. So in the jar, there is a little bit of oxygen. Then the candle will breathe in all the oxygen and use it. Then there will be only carbon dioxide. And carbon dioxide is not necessary for burning. So the candle will not be lit. What is argon?
Argon is the third most abundant gas in the atmosphere. Argon has many industrial applications.
So this line, Sritan said that argon is the third most abundant gas in the atmosphere. That means it is the third most important gas of the atmosphere. Argon has many industrial applications. Means argon is used in many industrial uses. So now let's see about carbon dioxide. Sritan, can you explain me carbon dioxide?
Carbon dioxide is another important gas in atmosphere. The heat absorbing capacity of carbon dioxide helps the earth to maintain its temperature, and it prevents the earth's heat to escape into the atmosphere, thereby preventing earth from becoming too cold at night.
So in this paragraph, Sritan said that carbon dioxide is another important gas in the atmosphere. So as humans have abilities to lift things, carbon dioxide is also unique gas and has the ability of heat absorbing capacity. So the heat absorbing capacity of the carbon dioxide helps the earth to maintain its temperature, and it prevents the earth's heat to escape into the atmosphere. That means, you know, the sun rays, right? The sun rays will land on the floor and make the floor hot and make the environment also hot. But what will happen eventually? The hotness will be diluted by coldness. So if in the nights it will be so cold that we should wear every single thing in our house to keep us warm. Fortunately, we have a solution for this as well. The heat absorbing capacity absorbs the heat and stores the heat inside the Earth's atmosphere, and the atmosphere contains carbon dioxide. So the heat is trapped. Then it will prevent the Earth from becoming too cold at nights. So what is water vapor?
The water vapor present in the atmosphere plays a crucial role bringing precipitations and by precipitations.
So now we have seen that in rainy seasons it rains. So what makes the rain? So water vapor plays a crucial role in bringing precipitation. So now precipitation means water coming down on the earth. So Sritan, I have a doubt. What is ozone?
Ozone is present in the atmosphere in negligible and by negligible quantity it is very more important as it protects us from the ultraviolet rays of the sun.
So ozone is present in the atmosphere in a negligible quantity. It is very important as it protects us from ultraviolet rays of the sun. So what is ultraviolet rays? Ultraviolet rays are some of the rays which come from the sun, and they are very hot and they may burn the whole atmosphere. We don't know. So ozone, there is a thin layer in one of the layers of the atmosphere. I will explain it in the next one. So what happens is this ultraviolet rays touch the ozone and they go back. Only the non-harmful rays can enter the ozone layer. So, but it is still a negligible quantity. So what is the structure of the atmosphere? The atmosphere is also divided into 5 layers. So these 5 layers are very important for us. So troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, exosphere. So this is the order, this troposphere to exosphere. So let me explain this as well in the whiteboard. So we go to the whiteboard. Let's click on clear frame. Okay, so this is the thin lines of atmosphere. This layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, layer 4, and the layer 5 is just a, like, it extends up to here, but it mixes with the outer space as well. So this is troposphere. Let's write T. Troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, exosphere. So what is the height limit between the ground and the troposphere? What is the height limit of each? So I can explain that as well. So this is how the order actually looks like. So this is the Earth. Then we have troposphere first, stratosphere second, mesosphere third, and thermosphere fourth, and exosphere at the last. So now let's just go. So what is exploration of layers of atmosphere? Okay, Sritan, can you please tell me what is troposphere?
Troposphere. It is slowest, densest, and the heaviest layer. This layer also helps in absorbing the maximum amount of heat radiated by the Earth. It extends up to a weight of 18,000 meters at the equator and 8,000 meters at the poles. The average height of this layer is 13 meters. The air we breathe exists in this layer. This layer contains max amount of oxygen and carbon dioxide.
So here the troposphere is the lowest, as we know. This is the lowest layer, and it is the densest. That means it has, like, this is the densest height and the heaviest layer as well. So this layer also helps in absorbing the maximum amount of heat radiated by the Earth. So in one of the carbon dioxide lines, it is written that the heat capacity of carbon dioxide. So by this sentence we can know that troposphere has a lot of carbon dioxide. Then it extends up to a height of 18,000 meters at the equator and 8,000 meters at the poles. 18,000 meters, that means 18 kilometers in the equator, and 8,000 meters means 8 kilometers at the poles. So this means that in the equator, this layer has the height up to 18 kilometers. And at the poles, the height lowers and it is just 8 kilometers. So if we calculate the average of this layer height is 13 kilometers. The air we breathe exists in this layer. See, over here we spoke about oxygen. So yeah, oxygen is the things which we breathe, and carbon dioxide is the gas which plants breathe. So here we can confirm that we live in troposphere. This layer contains max amount of oxygen and carbon dioxide, as I said before. So, but Sritan, can you explain me what is stratosphere?
Stratosphere. It extends up to a weight of 50,000 meters from surface of the Earth. This layer is almost free from clouds and all kinds of weather. Therefore, it is ideal for flying jets, aircrafts. This layer contains ozone gas. The ozone gas protects the Earth from harmful UV rays of the sun.
Okay, and it extends up to a height of 50,000 meters, means 50 kilometers from the surface of the Earth. This layer is almost free from clouds and all kinds of weather. That means that there is nothing in this layer, just clouds, and it is free from all kinds of weather. So you know that flying jet aircrafts needs some free air and needs a free space to fly in. So this layer acts as the free space for flying jet aircraft. So in one of the slides, we saw that what is ozone, right? So ozone protects the earth from ultraviolet rays, which are also known as UV rays. So here it is also written that this layer contains ozone gas. The ozone gas protects the earth from harmful ultraviolet rays. That means that the harmful ultraviolet rays are stopped by ozone. And where is ozone? The ozone is a thin layer in stratosphere. What is mesosphere?
Mesosphere. This layer extends up to a height of 80,000 meters from the mean sea. The temperature in this layer decreases with latitude. It is the coldest layer with the temperature dropping down to minus 100 degrees. The layer acts as a protective shield against meteors. Meteors burn up in the layer due to friction with the atmosphere.
So now we know that this layer also has a height barrier, and the height barrier extends up to 80,000 meters from the mean sea. The temperature in this layer decreases with altitude. It is the coldest layer with the temperature. So the coldest layer, that means if you are in mesosphere, obviously if we go up to that height, we will not have any oxygen to breathe. As the oxygen levels decrease in the increase of height. So here we can see that it is so cold that the temperature is measured as minus 100 degrees centigrade. And this layer also acts as a protective shield against meteors. But how? Meteors burn up in this layer due to the friction of the atmosphere. So meteors fall from the outer space. While they are falling, you have seen in movies and all that there is a fire on the rocks while they are falling down. Why? Because of the friction with the atmosphere. So we can go to Sritan. Can you explain me what is thermosphere?
This layer extends up to a height of 4 lakh meters from the Earth's surface. the temperature in this layer starts rising with latitude. It goes up to 1500 degrees. This layer contains electrically charged particles known as ions. These ions fac- facilitate facilitate the transmission of radio waves and enable us to have wireless communication. Therefore, this layer is also known as ionosphere.
So this layer has a height barrier of 44 lakh meters. So the temperature in this layer starts rising with the altitude. That means as higher you go, it will be that hotter. It can go up to 15,000 centigrade. Oh my God, that is going to be so hot. You will literally burn. The layer contains electrically charged particles known as ions. So, there are electrically charged particles. That means they are charged with electricity. These ions facilitate the transmission of radio waves and enable us to have wireless communication. So most of us can use WhatsApp for calling. So whenever we call, you must wonder, how do we call our friends when there is not a wire connected to our phone and his phone? So the data which we speak and the data which comes from him or her will be a communication in the ionosphere. And this layer is also known as ionosphere. And the last layer of the whole atmosphere, which is exosphere. Sirtan, can you please explain the viewers that what is exosphere?
Yes, Srijan. Exosphere. It is the outermost layer of the Earth's atmosphere that melts with the outer space. In this layer, the temperature rises with height. This layer is made up of light gases like helium and hydrogen. The weather satellites that orbit the Earth are positioned in this layer.
Okay, so here we know that this, as I said, this is the outermost layer of the Earth's atmosphere that merges with the outer space. So in the whiteboard, I have drawn this diagram. Let me just go to whiteboard. Yeah, this diagram. I told that this is outer space. And yes, it is outer space. So let's just clear this and let's just see that this is Earth's exosphere. So there is a barrier, but it mixes with the outer space. So the outer space is where the rockets which are landing on Chandra, Moon, Saturn, and all of those planets. I think in 2019 we also had a launch of Chandrayaan 2, which was Chandrayaan 3, which was not a successful mission, but okay. So the path of the Chandrayaan 3 was to go from here to directly to the outer space and locate its way to moon. So it should go like this. Okay, so it should go through the exosphere and mix into the outer space. So now in this layer, the temperature rises with height. Same as the thermosphere. But here we have a measurement that if we go to the tallest, like the highest peak of this layer, the temperature will be 15,000 centigrade. And here we don't have a measuring yet. This layer is made up of light gases. So the light gases are helium and hydrogen. This layer is mainly made up of helium and hydrogen. The weather satellites that orbit the Earth are positioned in this layer. So whenever you open your phone, you see that today's weather mostly cloudy, right? So how does our phone know that today's weather is going to be cloudy? How? So there are weather satellites that orbit the Earth, which are positioned in the exosphere and give these Samsung centers and all of the centers the information, and so that they can display in their phones. So, Sritan, so I will tell you that what is the importance of atmosphere. So some of the viewers might be thinking, what happens if there is no atmosphere? Will it be fine? No, you are absolutely wrong.
No.
It protects us from meteors and other cosmic particles. These particles burn upon entering the Earth's surface. That means that if there was no atmosphere, the meteors will fall on the Earth and we may get hurt, injured, and even die. It contains oxygen, which is essential for sustaining all forms of life on Earth. So after this point, if atmosphere is not there, we can't even breathe. So we will not even be there. So meteors will fall and it will destroy the Earth. It also contains nitrogen and carbon dioxide, which is essential for the growth and development of plants. And in the nitrogen paragraph, we also discussed about this point as well. So yes, in the top one, yeah. Here, we also saw that the nitrogen is the most abundant gas in the atmosphere. It is required by plants and animals for their survival. So in this slide, it is written that it also contains nitrogen and carbon dioxide, which is essential for the growth of development of plants. If there is no atmosphere, there will be no nitrogen. Sitan, if there is no nitrogen, what will happen to plant and animals? They will die. It protects the Earth from harmful UV rays of the sun. The ozone layer. We saw the ozone layer in stratosphere. It prevents heat from escaping the Earth's surface, thereby maintaining a favorable temperature. This duty is for carbon dioxide. It supports the formation of clouds and rain. This duty is for water vapor. It facilitates wireless communication. In thermosphere, we saw that ionosphere has this duty. So, thank you for watching this slideshow. For any doubts in comment box, we will respond to your comment immediately. Please like, share, subscribe to our channel for more meaningful lessons. If you like this video, share this video to your friends, awaiting for your constructive suggestions of our improvement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.